Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is July the 3rd, 2016. My name's Eric Peterson.
Independence Day, son.
Joining me today, Mr. Interrupting Curtis.
Sorry, I was
Hi,
thinking
Daniel.
of Murica. Hello.
Hi, Daniel.
What's your name again? Sorry, I may have talked over you there.
I don't remember.
It's Peric Mederson, right?
Peric Mederson. Sounds right. We've got Yom Ragan with us as well.
Hi, Eric. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Tom. How
Hello,
are you?
How are you?
Thomas, thank you for not interrupting.
That's all right.
But as Daniel so astutely pointed out, it is almost the greatest day of the year.
Canada Day.
No, I mean,
The Queen's birthday?
people celebrate that.
Yes, we had a giant tea party, don't you know?
Who can raise a pinky
Tom
raising
was at
contest?
the head of the table with Jeeves in the wings, waiting to bring him tea and crumpets at a click of the fingers.
I just imagine at her party, everybody sits around and sees who can raise their pinky the highest.
You have to keep your
The
pinky
Queen's a raver, man. She loves a crazy party.
Getting down and dirty.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Way to go, Queen.
It's almost July 4th, America's Independence Day.
Why is that important?
Oh, I'm going to...
Is that important over there?
Just a bit.
Like, how crazy do people go?
Well,
Do they have parties and stuff?
Is that the day when you got attacked by aliens?
By a ghost?
Yep. White House blew up.
All right.
San Francisco was leveled. Maybe it was LA. I don't remember. All the major metropolises.
Guys have recovered really well from that. Congratulations.
We have. It's a pretty big cover-up. Not many people know about it. But to give you an idea, last night, fortunately, Ellie was staying at my mom's house. Otherwise, it would have been a really bad night. Our neighbors thought it would have been a fantastic idea. Down here, there's a lack of consideration for neighbors anyway. However, they thought it would have been a fantastic idea to buy these illegal fireworks and start shooting them off at about 11 o'clock at night. Now, they're not just the whistle poppers that go up, screech, and make a little popping noise. These were like the full production value fireworks that
I assume when you say fireworks, you mean missiles, right? In America.
Well, yeah, they're just Scud missiles,
V2 rockets.
ICBMs. But they would go up, they'd explode, shake the house, set off car alarms. And they just did this all night.
What?
I bet you was a grumpy bastard.
Oh, I feel like shit. I didn't sleep too well.
Oh.
But every time it went off in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, let freedom ring, baby.
Do you know your neighbors?
Yeah. I know the ones directly to each side of me.
Okay, so you kind of have this good rapport with you.
But it wasn't them. It was the people across the street by the park.
Oh, those...
Did you not trudge over there in your boxes and just bang on the door and go, stop that shit, son!
Cleaned out the front door. Hey, fuck you.
I'm trying to go to sleep. You just stop that.
Theo, it's 4:30 in the afternoon.
I need my nap time.
No, if you want to know... Oh, go ahead.
I imagine you having mixed feelings about it, though, because they're celebrating America Day.
Yeah, but it's not America Day. Yesterday was the 2nd, which I think technically is the day the Declaration of Independence was signed.
Well, this is what happens in England, particularly in the northeast. As soon as it's nearly bonfire night, where we set off fireworks, basically everybody who sells fireworks just sells them to all the scumbags, and the scumbags will set off fireworks for that entire month.
Now, wait a minute. Let's backtrack for a second. Bonfire Day.
Bonfire night.
Okay, Bonfire Night.
Where we burn people to death.
Let me finish my train of thought. Just follow me here. Because I'm going to point out how dumb you are.
Yes, just I got it. Thanks.
Roll with me. Bonfire Night. Now, a bonfire is a collection of shit that gets burnt.
Which is what we do.
But what does that have to do with fireworks? because you
Tom,
said
you wanna take this
it's
one?
bonfire night
Good
where
God.
everybody just sits around and lights off fireworks. Where's the bonfire?
We have a bonfire as well. On
Yes.
bonfire night, you have a bonfire and then organise firework displays.
Okay.
So it's not as dumb as it sounds, is it?
It's just still really dumb.
I take it
It's
you
not,
guys
it's-
don't have a bonfire night either in America land.
Every night can be a bonfire night. You're
Yeah, it just
relegated
depends
to
which
one.
cars are on fire in the neighbourhood.
Yeah. You're relegated to one night a year. You can just have a bonfire,
Well, there was
and then everyone's
this
like,
man who
"Yay!"
this man that tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament.
Guy Fawkes. Yeah, I'm educated.
Oh, you okay? Really?
So every year, to pay him back for his crimes, we pretend to burn him to death.
By shooting celebratory fireworks into the sky.
Yes, while also having a dummy of Guy Fawkes on a giant bonfire.
We like to emulate as if he was successful.
Isn't Guy
Here's what-
Fawkes kind of hailed as a hero?
No.
Probably not really. I mean, if
But
he
on
did it
bonfire
now, I'd
night,
hail
my
him a hero.
local... Sorry, Tom. My local bonfire night in Peterlee, there used to be... Every year we used to have the same fireworks display where they had a battleship and a tank which would shoot fireworks at each other. And one year, one of the fireworks actually escaped out into the crowd and exploded.
Is there just a bunch of people yelling "way"?
Yes, there
Yeah.
was.
Totally.
Somebody just got blown to pieces and everybody just went, "Whee!"
You slag, you slag. I was misinformed. I thought for sure this podcast was happening on the 4th of July. So for about 2 hours until I realized my mistake, I was pumped because I was just going to be obnoxious.
Absolutely insufferable. If this
And we
was
were going to
tomorrow.
switch the game to something super American. We probably just would have played Broforce. It would have been a sweet show.
Have they actually fixed Broforce yet? Can you actually play it?
I think so.
Because it used to have a stupid lag thing every time you respawned.
Well, I mean, that's kind of fun.
They haven't fixed that.
Really?
Yeah. Not since I last
Wow.
played it, which was a couple of weeks ago. Stupid. Stupid.
Stupid.
Stupid.
Chew on how dumb that is.
What other American over-the-top games are there?
What do you mean?
Just like, well, Broforce is...
Oh,
Well, there was the Landstalker with the giant eagle.
Oh, yeah.
well, that doesn't really constitute American game because the eagle had glasses, so he's clearly not an American eagle. His eyesight is less than stellar. There was, obviously Oregon Trail. I mean, that's just pure America right there. It's just murder buffalo in excess.
Red
I
Dead
only
Redemption,
need
of
3
course.
pounds of buffalo. I'm going to kill 500 pounds and leave 497 to rot.
Yeah,
Red Dead Redemption, Eric.
No. There's a game called Bad Dudes on the
What,
NES.
Red Dead Redemption doesn't count even though it's set in America
Yeah, but
during the Wild West.
I don't like that game.
Yes, you do. You love that game.
I like the multiplayer Murder of Horses. Duke Nukem
Yeah.
Forever was a pretty American game, wasn't it?
I never played it.
You could grab a turd out of the toilet at the
Yeah,
beginning.
that's the American way, I hear.
Yeah, I mean, just poop.
Not
What else?
really. There's not really many all-American games.
I was reading an article about a game that really only came out. Actually, it did only come out in Japan. It was called Metal Wolf Chaos.
Oh, that sounds good.
Let me send you a link to this here because I was looking up American games we could play if this show fell on the 4th of July. So it starts out with the president exploding out of the Oval Office in a mech suit, covered in guns.
Much
And it's
like,
just this patriotic
Saints Row 4.
love fest. And there's a mech suit battle between the president and the vice president, and it looks awesome.
And so they've made a super American game which has never seen the light of day outside of Japan.
I wonder if they meant it as like satire, though.
Probably. And there's some strange games come out of Japan.
I mean, this does seem like a Saints Row game. They made a gigantic electromagnetic Alcatraz cannon to combat terrorism.
An Alcatraz cannon?
And the president's daily schedule has to be adjusted for important things like heading out to save America.
Sounds like your kind of game.
What's this for?
This is a Metal Wolf Chaos for the original Xbox. Only came out in Japan. The crazy thing about it...
Nobody had an Xbox in Japan either, did they?
The crazy thing about it is that all of the voice work was done in English.
Why wasn't that released? I would buy that.
See, I think it's interesting that you said nobody in Japan had an Xbox. However, I think Japanese culture had a huge influence on the development of the new Xbox controller.
Do you think?
Isn't that true? Like,
I don't know.
They think it didn't sell well there because the controller was so damn big?
No, I just think they were very set in the ways. Like, video games in Japan are very different over here. They wouldn't go for our kind of FPSs and stuff.
I remember reading about a game where you played as an ambulance and you just drove over people. Like, this needs a game to be here.
I saw a game when I was over there where it was all about hitting men in the balls in creative ways.
What was it called? Dick Punch?
I know it had a weird Japanese name, but I just looked at the back and there was just some woman hitting some guy with... She was wearing high heels and she was just hitting some guy with like a spiked 2x4 in the balls.
Were you in the like fetish porn section?
Yeah, it might have been. It's hard to tell in Japan. It's all the same.
I think that's on PS4 and Vita.
Did it come out?
Yeah, it's called like Nightmare Princess or something. I just can't remember exactly the proper name. Deception? I don't know.
Hold on. Really? I'm reading more about this Metal Wolf Chaos and...
Yeah, Deception 4, The Nightmare Princess. That did come out.
Apparently, they're trying to bring Metal Wolf Chaos westward for the PC market.
Yeah.
And it's going to be coming from Software.
Really?
Ooh. What?
Yeah. As in of Dark Souls fame.
I think
that's their new IP.
Oh, hold on. The publisher recently took to Twitter and said that if From Software were interested, they'd be willing to bring their presidential mecha game Metal Wolf Chaos to the Western market. Although nothing's set in stone, we can only hope that From Software take their up on their offer. Never mind. Okay, so it's not coming. It's just Digital Devolver wants it to happen.
So it should.
God, that game sounds sweet.
Got my hopes up.
There's got to be a way to emulate it. I mean, I've got a strong enough PC to play emulated Xbox games.
Find it. Play it.
Did you?
Get it?
That does sound like the most American game ever. You and I were talking about this before, though, Dan. Like maybe it was with Tom, I don't remember, but the Metal Gear Solid games, I guess they could be patriotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kinda. I mean, the second one, they crash into Manhattan, don't they, at the end? So
yes, they do, and they battle on top of the Washington building.
I still don't know what happened on that game.
I don't think anybody does. I don't even think Kojima does. Are you guys excited?
Metal Gear Solid 3 was quite easy to follow. Metal Gear Solid 4 was confusing as hell. Metal Gear Solid 5...
There was no story to be had. It was just gameplay.
Good gameplay, but still disappointed.
Stale gameplay.
What were you going to ask us?
Really don't remember.
Oh, we excited for something.
Oh, the new Kojima game. I forgot if we talked about that.
I think we briefly mentioned it last week, but
how dumb the name is and all of that.
Death Stranding. What do you
I
think
don't
of that
think
name?
I don't think even he knows what it's about at this point. He's just put a load of things together just to make people go, "What?" You know.
Well, and that's kind of his signature now, is he can do
Yeah.
that, and people are like, "Oh, he's so brilliant," and he's just laughing, going, "Just a bunch of random shit on a screen. Let's put some dudes floating. Let's put a naked guy walking towards him by the ocean."
Let's attach a baby to him by a mechanical umbilical cord.
Yeah. Get me my pitchfork, Jeeves. All this cash is coming in.
Now let's have some oil and some dead fish.
Yeah.
I reckon it was just up until the E3 trailer about 2 days before. That was just an empty beach, and he went, "It needs something crazy. Dead fish.
Dead.
Just throw it all on there."
I think Sony showed enough at E3 that I don't think they needed to bring him out just to show this teaser. I think it could have just left him in hiding until he actually had something substantial to show.
Yeah,
I
but
think it was kind of cool, though. I liked it when he came out with the silly light floor, and he was too quick, and it didn't keep up with him, and it was just...
Yeah.
I love E3 fails. E3, it's my favourite part of E3.
this year didn't have too many. The Xbox
The
conference.
people playing Minecraft were pretty embarrassing.
What conference was that on?
Xbox, I think.
Oh, the Microsoft conferences are always super awkward because they have so many
Yeah.
transitions between people, and these are people that
Yeah, you always get some executive who comes out and goes, "We're so excited to announce Xbox Live is getting fart noises."
Whereas I like how Sony just comes out like, "Hey, fucking games, guys! Like, just 3 people are going to come out and talk to you. Here's games for an hour." Nobody wants to sit and. Do you guys remember when E3 used to be all about data and statistics and sales numbers?
Yeah.
It's like nobody gives a shit about how many consoles you sold. Show me what games are coming out.
Can you remember when they first announced the Xbox One and they didn't talk about games at all? It was the most confusing thing I'd ever seen. It was
I don't
just...
remember that. Was that when Bill Gates showed it?
No, I don't think... This is the Xbox One, so it was quite recent.
Oh,
and
Xbox One. I
and
thought you
then
meant the first.
some woman came out and went, "The Xbox One is the next water cooler." And I was like, "What?"
And then the entire thing was just all about TV.
Oh, yeah, that you could control your cable TV and stuff.
And fast forward 3 years, and now that shit's kind of just on the back burner. Like backpedaling big style. But my favourite E3 thing was probably when Microsoft first announced the Xbox One had the DRM stuff, and Sony shared a video where they showed how you could share used PS4 games.
And he just gives him
And he
the
just
case.
literally just handed him the box, and they both smiled at the camera, and it just ended.
I'm so
great.
glad.
Fantastic.
I'm generally not a social media activist, but I'm so glad that social media took over on that and made a significant change, because I think the industry would be worse off if Microsoft were able to implement all of the crap that they were talking about implementing. And it makes me wonder if Sony actually had something similar, saw the violent backlash, and within minutes, like, no, we need to squash this.
Yeah, because they went second, so he just came out basically the next day and just went, "Yeah, we don't have that." So you good?
Oh, by the way, our console's $100 cheaper.
Yeah.
And you don't always have to be online to play it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that something that Xbox came out with?
You had to be connected. You had to connect every 30 days or so to verify your games.
Oh, God.
You had to have Kinect plugged in.
Oh, yeah, it was supposed to be mandatory. I forgot about that.
Oh, shit. I don't remember.
Now it isn't even included in the box.
Oh, they just abandoned it?
You can still buy it separately, but why? What's the point?
I think the biggest, I think we've talked about this before, the biggest company fail to date was when Sega announced the Saturn, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is awesome." And then at the end of the event, they went, "Oh, it's available now," leaving retailers like, "Holy shit, what?" Because nobody had stock of it, and the people that did had no idea when to put it out, so people would go to the store looking for it, and it wasn't there.
Oh, God.
That was a bit daft, wasn't it?
What a shit show.
I mean, I really like what Apple does. I'm not a huge Apple product person. But when they announce something, it comes out very shortly after, like a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
to let
That's
people
true.
get hyped up about it, and then let inventory fill up, and then you can go out and buy it. As much
Well,
as
that's
I
the thing.
like seeing games that are going to be out in 2-3 years, I'd rather see a game and be like, okay, I can play this in 3 months.
But some games, because they're short so often, you feel like you've seen everything. It's the same with movies.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I really don't watch a lot of trailers and stuff on games. I have a buddy that I played Dark Souls 3 with, and he's like, I've watched every video that's been released for it. I'm like, but why?
I'll watch a
Yeah.
trailer just to see what it's like, but I won't watch gameplay and stuff. I don't want to see. Like, sometimes people do the first 15 minutes of a new game, and I'm like, why would I want to see that?
I mean,
Yeah,
I've kind
I
of
don't-
ruined
All
the
about the
beginning
experience.
of the new Zelda game by watching that gameplay with Ayume. But I wanted to know what the hell this game's going to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I avoided, not purposefully, but I just didn't actively click on any Uncharted trailers for Uncharted 4 because I was like, I know I'm going to buy this game.
Well,
I
any
don't
of the
need to be
official
sold
ones
it.
that released, I watched.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to see extended gameplay sequences.
No. It's like, I've seen enough now. I've seen, like, Final Fantasy 15, I've seen enough.
I will not watch any gameplay footage on that. I just don't want to
No.
ruin it.
No.
God, that's coming out in like 2 months.
Oh my god. 3, technically. September 20th.
I wish it was coming with like a 7 remake tech demo or something.
You know, the demo, the video game demo has become alarmingly absent.
Yeah.
They do betas,
I
but
miss
like
demos.
just a flat out demo. I was flipping through some of my old games, and I still like Square Enix games where they used to put that disc in there where they'd have a couple playable demos and then a bunch of trailers for upcoming games.
I have in my original Crash Bandicoot case, it has a demo in. I can't remember what it is though.
My
It's one of those
original
double-decker
Metal Gear-
PS1 boxes.
Yeah, my Metal Gear Solid one has Silent Hill in the back.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I think I had that back in the day as well.
Which I fucking hated because I was pretty shocked by it at the time. It's just weird because like Metal Gear was rated as like an 11 plus, and Silent Hill was an 18, or maybe a 15 actually.
Nobody cared back in the day, Tom.
I know, but like it scarred me for years.
I remember going to Best Buy when I was 16 and just walking in and buying Grand Theft Auto 3. Oh, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's going to check that shit.
No,
It didn't really start to take hold until probably like 2005, 2006, because
yeah.
when I was
agree.
working at GameStop, that's when they really started handing down, like, you have to be checking IDs. You know, we could
Oh,
get
yeah.
written up for not doing, or fired for not doing it.
Wasn't this about the time when that woman started kicking off about Mass Effect having sex scenes in and stuff? And
Yeah.
why?
I mean, Mass Effect was shortly thereafter.
God.
yeah, when she just basically said that it had graphic sex with an alien in it, and literally all you'd see is some side boob. If that.
That sweet blue side boob.
I
Yeah.
have great memories of playing PS1 demos to death. Like, and some of them were timed, and then they would run out of time, and I'd just start it again and just
Yeah.
play it constantly.
I used to watch the Final Fantasy VIII demo trailer over and over and over. I'm like, I cannot wait for this.
I used to play Nightmare Creatures quite a lot. I used to have
That
one.
game
Yes.
was so shit.
It was so bad.
I used to rent a lot of games. I mean, a lot. My mom was really cool about that. There's only been a handful of times, and only one time that I can actually remember, where I played the game, went back to the store, and went, this game sucks so bad, I would like to exchange it for something else. And the guy behind the counter at least knew. He's like, yeah, this game's really bad. Go pick something else.
I liked it.
Oh,
Oh, it is toilet.
it's really bad. There
We
was a
play
second
Nightmare
one, I
Creatures
think.
this week.
No, please don't.
I played.
What else? I used to play Disney's Hercules.
Oh yes,
That was good.
that was like an Infinite Runner type game, wasn't it?
It was like a platformer, but it had
Oh, that's
sections like that as well.
Yeah. I remember playing Jade Cocoon.
Jake Cocoon was sweet.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one. Tom, do you
RPG.
remember we used to get demo discs with Net Your Rosie games on?
Yeah.
Net Yaros.
Net Your Rosie.
The
Yes,
Black
dude.
Developmental PlayStation.
Yes.
Yeah, and then after the end of the demo, it would have like a little infographic or whatever, like a little advert of the black PS1.
That kind of seems like the dawn of indie games there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I used to have a demo for a game called Nobody Can Stop Mr. Domino.
Yes.
You were telling me about
was
that
great.
game.
And did you ever play The Unholy War? Anyone ever play that?
No.
PS1? It was a
No.
weird battle arena game. Destruction Derby 2 is one of the first demos I played. I friggin' love that
That game is sweet.
So good. Like, there'd be that stage where you're in the arena bowl. There's like 15 cars and you're just smashing up into each other. And you have to get points by spinning people 360, 180 and stuff.
Back in the day
Fucking
before
wicked
Burnout.
game. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had a demo for Future Cop LAPD. I used to love that. That was a classic. Nobody?
Yeah. I haven't played it, but we have it on the list, don't we?
Do we?
I don't see it.
I thought Dan had it on the list.
Might have swapped it out for something. I don't know.
What have you guys been playing this week? Anything good besides our game of the week?
Well, I started Dark Chronicle because you said it was on the cheap.
Man.
Also known as Dark Cloud 2.
Well, wait. Hold on. Let's clear this up, because did you actually get Dark Chronicle 2 or Dark Chronicle 1?
Dark Chronicle.
Oh, that's not the right game then.
Yes, it is. It's Dark Cloud 2.
No, it's
That's
not.
what it's called.
It is
yes, it
not.
is.
Oh, God.
Dan, I'm going to
Guys.
fight you on this. If you're saying the game you
I
bought is
looked it up
just
before I bought it.
Dan did buy the right one. He did buy the right one.
so it's called Dark Chronicle 2.
No, it's just
called
Dark Chronicle.
That's not right.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
In the Europe, it's Dark Cloud, and then the sequel is Dark Chronicle.
But I think the one that Mark
There
Haddock
isn't
sent
a Dark
me,
Chronicle 2.
I think the one that Dark Chronicle, or the one that Mark Haddock sent me is called Dark Chronicle 2. Maybe it's not.
So you're being
Yeah,
an idiot.
So the first one over there was actually called Dark Cloud, and then they switched it to Dark Chronicle?
Correct.
Well,
There
that's
isn't
dumb.
not a Dark Chronicle 2.
Okay, then I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
My God, he's admitted he's wrong, Tom.
I know.
Oh God, just quickly get the ham horn going.
How far are you, Dan? Let's talk about this for a minute, because this is in my top 5 favorite games of all
I'm
time.
not very far at all. I have not had a lot of time to play on it. But
Okay, Jess.
I've just got to the outside world.
So did you go through the entire sewer dungeon?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, you're a good distance in.
Yeah, a couple hours maybe.
It's a pretty simplified version of what you got with Rogue Galaxy.
Yeah, it's a bit odd. I'm not sure about the dungeon where you have to go through floor by floor yet.
It's really cool because as you progress further, you'll get another character that you can switch between. Actually, 2 other characters you can switch between. And then you get challenges for each dungeon, like defeat all the enemies without healing, or defeat all the enemies using only Max's ranged weapon, or
Yeah, I've got that.
Monica's
Those are already on the
sword
start.
or anything like that. And then you get these different beast medallions, and then Monica can transform into different beasts, and then you have to utilize those throughout the dungeon. It gets really deep and complex.
Yeah, it sounds like it is going to. I mean,
The weapon
was on about
synthing system is insanely deep.
oh God, yeah. It's a bit
Insane.
cumbersome, to be honest.
It is, but you remember, this was the system that inspired Rogue Galaxy, so you're used to like the refined, really well-functioning system.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. It just takes a bit of getting used to.
Just wait till you get to the town building aspect.
Oh,
yeah,
you
you've
showed me
talked
that.
about this at great length
Oh,
over the
man.
years.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Because you go through the dungeons, you pick up these little geomods, or these geospheres, and you have to take, each geosphere gives you a different item, and it could be like, this is a mailbox, or this is a rooster, or a weather vane, or a house. And then you have to purchase materials to build those now that you have the blueprints for them.
Yeah. And don't you have like a scale? Like a town has to weigh a certain amount or something?
Well, there's one town called Balance Valley where they've got 4 different spires, and you have to get. So essentially, what happens in this game is that somebody in the future went all the way to the past and started destroying things. So you need to reconstruct the past, properly to rebuild the future. So, for example, in Balance Valley, you have to put enough weight on each of the towers to get them to be equal weight so that in the future, the city that develops there is even and level. So once they're even, then you can transport into the future and start seeing what you're doing in the past affecting things in the future.
Spoilers.
Deal with it.
But why do you recommend Dark Chronicle over Dark Cloud if you've never played either?
Well, Dark Cloud is the prequel to this. Story-wise, doesn't matter. Pretty much the same concept. This one's just way more fleshed out. The weapon synthing system is pretty similar, but it's just better in every capacity. They're essentially the same game, but this one has just taken everything that Dark Cloud established and made it better. Better story, voice acting, graphics, gameplay, combat, everything is just better across the board. Dark Cloud 1 is fantastic. It's still a great game. It's just old.
Yeah.
It's an almost launch title for PS2.
Yeah, I remember when it came out. When it first came out. I think it was a launch title in Europe.
It's really, really good. This is one of my favorite series. I wish they would have made a Dark Cloud 3. I mean, I guess they kind of continued the series.
Leave them alone. They're making Ni no Kuni 2. Just leave them be.
I think they spent way too much time on White Knight Chronicle for how terrible that game was.
I keep seeing that cheap.
I just bought White Knight Chronicle 2, which, get this, comes with a remastered version of White Knight Chronicle 1.
Oh.
Look at you.
It's only like 17. Well, all of White Knight Chronicle 2 comes with it. It's just what they did. They're like, oh, hey, here's this really long RPG. Oh, by the way, you need to know everything about this other really long RPG, so it's just going to be at the front end of this really long RPG.
Now that you guys ever played Nier?
Yeah? What did you say?
That's its name. Nier.
Nier.
Yeah.
Oh, Nier. Nier? Nier?
No, every time I look at it, I go, Nier.
Nier.
PS3 game.
Yeah.
No.
Because I just think it's got a stupid name. Like, the kind of in the Xbox 360 and PS2, PS3 era, kind of went through a phase of having really strangely named RPGs. I like
the
what's
art
it called?
style.
Infinite Undiscovery is a personal favorite.
This game actually looks pretty good. I like the art style on it.
It's like a cult classic.
Like Binary Domain.
Yeah.
They're actually making a sequel to Nier called Nier Automata.
If you were just going to say Nier 2.
Yeah,
Nier
again.
2.
Near enough.
It does sound like you're just kind of dismissing it, like you just walk into the shop, look at the box, and go, yeah, and just put it back.
Is it any good? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. You know what other game we need to play at some point? Onimusha Warlords for PS2.
Murder on the Eurasia Express.
No.
Okay.
You're just
All right,
trolling
sorry.
us with that and trying to get us to put it on there.
Got you. No
Let's put it
worries.
down for Jess this week.
Cool.
Jess, why'd you choose such a shit game?
Onimusha
Did we ever
Warlords is
find who
fantastic.
picked that?
Tom put it on there to be a jackass.
We have no idea. Yeah, we're still searching. Someone else must have access to the doc.
Must have.
Onimusha is excellent.
Onimusha
I
Warlords.
wish they'd make a new one.
Did the series continue to be good? Because I really only played the first one. I think they have up
I
through...
think I had Onimusha 2.
Second one
And it was
was
pretty
fantastic. Yeah.
Samanosuke.
There was. I just remember long loading times between each screen on that game.
Well, it was a launch title for PS1 or for PS2, and it had excellent voice acting, and it was super graphic. Because my grandma got me the PS2, went out to the store to get a game, and my choices were between Onimusha and Smuggler's Run.
Oh,
And she's
And
like, well,
she
I don't
went
want
on-
you to have a game about smuggling drugs, so here's this game about chopping people up. Okay, thanks,
Yeah.
thanks, Grahams.
Lesser of two evils.
Yeah. I remember it being really difficult too.
Yeah, it was. Well, if
It
you
was,
play it now,
it was kind of Resident Evil-y, wasn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Similar kind of game design.
did it have tank controls?
I don't remember.
I seem to remember you had to press a button to kind of get into a fighting stance, and then you could swipe. But I could be wrong.
I think you did as well, Tom.
Probably.
Yeah.
I probably still got Onimusha 2 somewhere.
I don't know which ones I have. Whenever I see them, I'm like, well, I'll probably just buy this because they're only like $3 or $4 now.
Where do you get retro games from, Eric? Because over here, there's hardly anywhere that sells them.
We've got a bunch of. Actually, we've got two really popular stores. It's a chain, but they're on different sides of town, so they always have wildly different inventory. They're starting to, since the retro market has taken off in the past few years, they're starting to realize the value of the games that they have. So most of the really good stuff that comes in, they'll just either jack up the price or sell it online. I saw a complete copy of Suikoden 1, like $30. Like, oh, let me take a look at it. And didn't have an instruction manual, and the disc was just beat to shit. Like, that's kind of depressing.
Oh,
Jeez. $30 as well.
I
Yeah,
saw
it
a
was
copy
cheap.
of Final Fantasy VII once in a shop for £40.
Yeah, those have taken a little bit of a dip recently since they've all released digitally.
It's
The black label ones are generally about $15 to $20 more expensive than the greatest hits versions.
there's always sellers at like Comic-Con and stuff, but their prices are insane.
Oh yeah,
But
Yeah.
it is kind of cool looking through their whole collection. Like they have just about every console every popular console you can think of. They even have like sealed Super Nintendos and stuff. It's ridiculous.
there's a game called Rule of Rose that came out on PS2. That if you ever see it for cheap, purchase it.
Rule of Rose?
Rule of Rose, because it easily sells for $250 a copy.
Really?
Yeah, my buddy sent me a picture. He finally found a copy on dirt cheap for $10. So I was walking through Phoenix Comic-Con and saw a copy of it, and I just walked up to the guy. It was just sitting on the shelf behind him. I'm like, hey, how much for your copy of Rule of Rose? Hoping he'd be like, oh, like $15, $20. $275.
Why is it worth so much?
Just kind of a
Rare?
rare cult classic game.
I wonder if it's actually good.
Who cares if
Involves-
it's good?
Set in 1930s England, Tom, so you'd like it.
Oh, yeah, it's
And the
excellent.
plot revolves around a 19-year-old girl named Jennifer who becomes trapped in a world ruled by young girls who have established a class hierarchy called the Red Cran Aristocrats.
Cran. Red Cran.
Days.
Yeah, I put that in there for you, Eric. In reality, it says crayon.
It's done
It's a
by
2000.
Atlas. It's published by Atlas, and Atlas at that point was kind of known for not releasing a ton of copies of their games.
Atlas
It's
published
a-
Demon Souls, right?
Yes.
But they've never done any others.
No. I think they needed to bring it more exposure.
But it never really took off until Dark Souls, did it? I mean, Demon Souls is good, but it's a bit of a cult classic.
Yeah, and I think that
Yeah.
cult classic status is what propelled them to do Dark Souls, because people are like, hey, we want more of this, and like, oh, well, let's make this more mainstream.
Yeah. So they had to come
I've
up with a
been
new
playing.
name.
I've been playing the DLC for Bloodborne this week. My God, that's difficult. It's taken me about 20 attempts just to get past the first checkpoint.
Aw, diddums.
Yeah, good times. It's good though.
Gentlemen,
Hello.
shall we move on to our game of the week?
We should.
I'm going to
Flashback.
turn this over to Yamas because this is... Oh, wait, no, this is Dan's. Never
It
mind.
is mine.
I'm going to turn this over to Dan because what the hell did we play this week?
We played Flashback.
No, I know that, but like, what the
we were
hell
we were
did we
questing
play?
for our identity.
Well, we'll
Yes.
never find that.
Oh, you might.
Well, the thing is with that, he kind of gets his identity back about an hour into the game.
If that,
Also-
if you're really bad. Which we all
Yeah.
really were.
Yeah, but yes, we were pretty bad at it. But Flashback is basically weird. If you've ever played Another World, it's kind of like that. It was built as a CD-ROM game on a cartridge when it first came out. So it's like really cool backgrounds and stuff. And it plays similarly to the Oddworld games. Basically, you're this guy called Conrad. You've lost your memory. You're chucked into a jungle, and then you have to go and find your memory, is the basic synopsis.
And after that, the rest makes no sense whatsoever.
Correct.
It's interesting that you compared this to Oddworld, because I found an interview that PlayStation did in 2012 with Lorne Lanning, the creator of Oddworld. And he specifically outlines that his inspiration for Oddworld was games like Out of This World and Flashback.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
I mean, so many of the elements of Flashback are seen directly in Oddworld.
Yeah.
Like, even down to the concept of using stones to throw and distract things or manipulate things.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Except Oddworld made the controls easier.
I love the animation, though, in Flashback is really awesome. Like, for its time.
Oh, yeah,
animation
for a
on
Genesis
Conrad.
game? Whew.
Yeah.
Very
Really good.
fluid. And this is back before they had motion capture.
Yep. It looks
My
like
favourite move
kind
is the one where you drop off the ledge with the gun out and then he lands in a crouch and you can shoot people. It's just cool.
Yeah.
Like one.
My favorite is falling off of too high of a cliff and just crumpling when you hit.
Oh, yeah.
He just kind of lays there.
Happened to me many times.
So Flashback came out in 92, just to give people an idea. For the Genesis, the Amiga, it was on PC, Super Nintendo, Sega CD. There's a whole slew of consoles that this came out as. But I like how they bill it as a cinematic platformer made by Delphine and published by US Gold, which I don't think is around anymore.
No.
So I think the important question about Flashback is, first of all, how far did everybody get?
I finished it.
Woo!
I got
Yours.
to the Death Tower. Probably
Oh,
about
You are the
midway
proud
through.
recipient of this week's shit-coloured star, my friend.
Daniel, virtual high five.
Yes, I finished
yeah.
it too.
You inspired me to finish it because I really wasn't planning on it. I was at the end of the Death Tower, and then I saw your picture last night and went, fuck.
I knew as soon as I put that up, I was like, Eric's going to be about halfway through, and he's going to have to finish it now. I was like...
And I'd spent all day yesterday outside drinking, swimming, playing games. I mean, I was outside for 8 hours straight. I felt like I was hit by a truck when I got home last night. I was ready to crash, and then I saw that picture and, God damn it. Well, and I stayed up till midnight. I mean, I sent you guys a message right as soon as I was done with it. It was about midnight.
Jeez. Oh,
I stayed
fair
up
enough.
till 20 past 1 in the morning to finish the last level. So yeah,
Oh. I have finished this game before, but it doesn't count.
well, we will give Jess the bigger shit-coloured star this week because she's not
Nobody
even
knows
here.
how far she made it. I don't think she made it farther than that green shit that she
Jungle
died.
area?
Yeah.
Judging from the video we did, she didn't get very far at all. In this video, Jess spent about 15 minutes trying to climb up a ledge in the second screen.
To be fair, in her defense, it's not entirely obvious because it's the first screen that you fall down and you can't really see the ledge that you're supposed to jump up to.
But I
You're
don't
just saying that
understand.
because it took you 40 minutes to figure out how to jump.
It's just-
There's a difference between jumping and hopping. Jumping is press up, you jump straight up. Or you can run and tap up and jump. Or if you just hold square and then hit up, you do a hop.
Yeah.
What I've
That's-
never understood about Flashback, and I've played through it a good couple of times throughout my life, and I still don't understand how you do the running, jump, and grab a ledge move, where a ledge is above you, and
tough.
you somehow have to jump and grab it,
Just press
and just kind of hammer
press
up and
as you're
square until he
jumping.
does it.
In on the New Washington level, you have to do it a couple of times
Yep.
to advance, and it took me like 20 tries each time.
There's one. We'll go through it systematically, but while I'm thinking about it, there's one in. I think it's level 4 or 5, where right after you call the taxi cab, you have to jump up onto this ledge, and then you have to run across this really short ledge, jump to the next screen to land on a ledge really high up, and then do the same thing again on an even smaller ledge. And if you miss, you die because you're up high enough to die. The controls in this game are frustrating, to say the least.
As bad as Landstalker?
Oh, they're way more difficult.
I was okay
Really?
with them, but that's just because I remember playing it a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
And see, and I'd never played this before, so they're not super intuitive, but given we were playing it on the Genesis, you only had 3 buttons, A, B, and C. And the way that I'd mapped it, I guess is correct, was A was square, and that was one of your action buttons, where if you hold that down and then tap over, you'll start running. X just kind of was, I think X was mapped as B and was another interaction, and circle was C, pulls out your weapon, and then A shoots again.
Yeah, it's weird because B should be fire, because on the Genesis that was the trigger button was B. And A is interact with something, but B is to interact also with your item.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You can also press start to look at your items and select them.
But
Correct.
manipulating yourself around the environment was really difficult, because if you're standing on the edge of a ledge and you want to go down, you can either walk off it or you can press A and then down, and you'll do a descending grab where you'll just lower yourself down, which then you could survive longer falls.
Well, yeah, I think you had to press A and down at the same time. A little bit like...
Yeah.
Did you guys have problems using the lifts sometimes?
No, I was just pressed A and then up, and it worked.
Yeah,
sometimes
but
you would jump
just
upwards instead.
That's if you press up before A.
Exactly, you had to get them exactly right. I felt like there wasn't much margin of error.
See, I actually did a couple of things where I
fell
down. I fell down a huge pit, and there was like a ledge as you fall down the pit, and I managed to press up in time, so we would grab it on the way down, and I saved my life twice.
There was a spot much later in the game where you're supposed to put your teleporter down there.
Yep.
And teleport back, because the lift won't come back up to get you. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to jump off and see what happens, and manage to grab a ledge 3 screens down.
It's exactly the same as I did. I thought I'd done something wrong, but apparently it must happen.
So let's, do we want to go through this world by world?
I think we should talk about the video first, because I want people to go and watch the video.
Well, then talk about it.
I shall. Well, we did it for Landstalker last week, where we did our factory sealed players thing, where we all basically played the same game separately. Usually the time limit's half an hour, and then we all sent it to Tom, who melds it all together into a montage of best bits, and it's so funny, so funny.
If you watch the Landstalker one, this one I think is better.
It's even funny,
mainly because it's got Jess in it, and she calls herself a fucking moron.
And then she wants to punch herself in the face.
Quotation there.
A fucking idiot. Yeah. I want to punch myself in the face.
No, it is even better having the 4 of us. It makes for a much more interesting and entertaining video.
Oh yeah,
because Jess goes off piste.
Yeah, so if you want to go watch that anyway, go to YouTube and put in Factory Sealed Players, and then you should find it, hopefully.
We still
don't have a URL.
Yeah, we're almost to the point where we can get a custom URL.
Yes. Yay. Till that point, you shall just have to happen across us.
Yes. Daniel.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. A little tired.
Tom's just killing himself.
We made it an hour into the show before we did that.
They had to put another Tom killing himself telly on the chart.
That's 6 times this week. You want to take us through this?
Who me?
Take me on a journey.
It's your game.
Take me on a journey through World 1.
Help me find my identity.
I don't think you could. You're such an idiot. Anyway, right. World 1, basically, if you didn't skip the clip at the start, he escapes from a prison on a little speeder bike, which can travel through space. And he gets attacked by something which looks like an old video game console and crash lands in the jungles of an alien planet. And your first task is to get out of this. Basically, you find this thing called a holocube, which shows you using a variety of different types of shapes that you need to find a guy called Ian.
Shapes like parallelograms, rhombus, trapezoid, perhaps a...
Watch the video and you'll understand that.
Decahedron.
Right there.
Dodecahedron. Cube.
Cuboid. Sphere.
Cylinder. Box.
Pyramid.
Box.
Sorry, continue, Daniel.
Anyway, yeah, you find this holocube and you have to go through the jungle world, avoiding the nasties such as an effeminate link.
So you're on this jungle world because that's where you crash landed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hexagon.
And you basically have a gun and you have to find some, you can pick up credits. Shut up, Tom.
Sorry, God. Sorry, Dan.
Oh, Pentagon.
Heart.
Square.
Octagon.
Yeah, well, you're listening to the Factory Sealed Shapes podcast.
Curvilinear triangle.
Oh, shit.
Trapezium.
Cylinder.
I am trying to do the synopsis of Flashback, people.
Ellipse.
You've Googled shapes, haven't you?
Quatrefoil.
Must have. Where's he getting these from?
Crescent.
This man used to be a teacher, let us not forget.
Nonagon. Pete.
Shut up, you tit.
Oh, wait, those are shapes in Swahili.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Absolute.
Continue.
No,
Sorry, Dan.
I don't even know what's happening anymore. Somebody else take over.
I'm done. I've closed all of my tabs with shapes on them.
Thank you.
Where did we get to?
Dan was
The
explaining
first level?
the first level.
Right. What was I even saying? Just got
Something
shapes
about
in my head now.
rhombi, trapeziums, Pete.
I mean, it's a very polygonal game.
Yeah, and a lot of polygons. Actually, no, there's no polygons. Because it's not 3D.
It's very sprite-like.
Yeah. Like the
No,
soda?
but wait. How did they get the animation like that, though? It's so fluid. I think they use something
Witchcraft.
called rotoscoping.
Oh, like they used to do with the old Disney games or Disney movies.
Yeah, I think they draw around somebody frame by frame and bring that in. Because the mutants as well are the same.
Huh. I don't know. Anyway, Daniel, you were talking about some effeminate link.
Yeah, that's an enemy. An enemy. I think is it a mutant, that thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
No
they're called
idea why they're
mutants
there.
Yeah, they're just there in the jungle, and they'd like to shoot you if you get too
With
close.
these really microscopic-looking Daleks.
Oh, yeah. Dalek.
Whatever.
What's a Dalek? Oh no, Doctor! Here come the Dalek, and here come the Cyberman.
Yeah.
Wow!
Hey, Dan.
And that
Dan.
you can view
Dan.
the Daleks on Doctor Watt.
Dan. Who
Hello.
publishes Metal Gear Solid? Yeah,
Hideo
fuck off.
Kojima.
Konami.
Konami.
The only enemies in the first world are the mutant and the little mini Dalek
Dalek.
things,
Yeah, Daleks. They lick the day.
which the mutants are those effeminate Link characters, right?
And
They
they
do look
have-
like they're dressed up like Link and Pink. Don't
They look like they have the Super Nintendo Super Scope for a gun.
Yes, which they can barely hold in two hands.
They fire it once,
They
have to
still
set it
managed
down.
to shoot Jess spectacularly with it.
Oh yeah, yeah. She drops and then turns face the wrong way, as you do. I had to
Honestly,
capture
convinced
that.
Jess can't play games.
Oh, it's
As soon
good.
as I watched that, I had to capture that and instant replay it.
It's pretty damn good.
So each level essentially is set up with a series of puzzles that they're not terrible. They're just not always super clear because you can miss items really easily. Like some mutants will just randomly drop a key card, and they kind of sometimes will blend in with the environment. Also, depending on where you kill the mutant, if there's a piece of foliage, the key could fall behind it. And as you're walking along, the icon to show that you can pick something up appears in the top left, and you might miss that too. Or if you're running by it, or if you just shoot them on a ledge and don't go to check, you can miss stuff really easily and then fall into this trap of like, where the hell am I supposed to go?
Well, yeah, it's like
Yeah, if you haven't learned how to actually do the jump by this point as well, you'll struggle with some of the puzzles.
yeah, it's like Jess walks past the thing that you put your cartridge into when you have to get across a bridge. We have to create this electric bridge, and then she kind of is trying to read the text. And to be fair, it kind of bugs out where she's standing up and crouching, and it appears and disappears. And then instead of kind of walking back, she just decides to take a step off into this huge void and tumbles to her death. And she just goes, "Fuck off."
What's really frustrating about this game is that when you die, you have to start all over unless you've saved.
Oh, yes, correct.
So
And-
I'll be the
yeah.
first to admit I save stated all the time.
Me too.
Like incessantly. Oh, hey, I made that jump. Save state.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you have to, I think.
Mainly, and I'll admit I generally don't like to do that, but since we're on such a tight time schedule to beat these, I don't want to spend my time dicking around and having to replay levels 15 times because I missed a jump.
Yeah,
I think that's it with Jess. She doesn't use save states, does she? So maybe that's why she doesn't finish any
Does
of
she
the
even
games.
know what they are?
I don't think that's why she doesn't finish the games, Tom.
But that's totally what she would say
No.
if she was here right now.
No, well, now she'll say it because you gave her the idea.
She's a purist.
Yes, we'll go with that.
Love you, Jess.
So most of the puzzles consist of finding keys or key cards or more keys and just
Or like blocking sensors and stuff.
yeah.
To then get up lifts.
Sometimes you can use a stone to block certain sensors, which
Yes.
activate different things.
Did anybody get to the old hermit at the end of the first level and not have the 500 credits?
I did. I had them all.
No,
Okay,
I had them all. Yeah.
In
'Cause
fact,
somebody-
watching back the video, there's a section where you all missed the first set of credits.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, above the
You know
stone.
the bit where
above the
you were
first stone.
trying to shoot through the door with the guy, Eric?
Well, I was helping him.
Yeah. Then if you go up there and up another ledge, there's some credits on a ledge.
Yeah, but you end the level with 600 credits because there's a stockpile of 500 sitting somewhere, so you don't
And you never
need
need
it.
them again for the entire game.
Exactly. So it's important to note that you have an item called a shield that has a certain number of charges. And after that, you get hit, you die. But there's recharging stations strategically placed throughout each level.
I never knew until watching Dan play that you could charge your shield.
Wow.
Never
Whoa.
knew. Yeah.
What did you do when you got to the recharging stations? Just nothing?
I thought that was just there for the cartridge. I was like, oh, it's a one use only thing. Great. Okay, cool. Move on. So,
but they would put him in the
Please,
rest of
I've
the game.
educated you, Tom.
well, I was just foolish. Okay, let's just go with that.
Okay, I'll accept it. So the end of this level, you fall into a giant pit after this old hermit sells you an anti-gravity belt.
This was mad, this bit, man.
You
It was
just
just
fall down and then utilize your belt to land at the next level. That's it.
Basically, you're trying to get to a place called New Washington, and the only way to get there is to jump into a huge chasm.
So apparently New Washington...
Trusting a strange man who lives in the jungle who says, I will sell you an anti-gravity belt. He's just there, sitting on a deck chair. Like, my natural reaction, if he was there, sitting on a deck chair in the middle of an alien jungle, telling me to jump into a pit using an anti-gravity belt, would be to tell him to do one. Is that just me? Or?
I mean,
No,
I guess
that
I've
vibe.
played enough games now where if I was in the jungle and saw a guy, I'd be like, oh, well, he's probably trying to sell me something. Probably going to be useful.
Like,
I'd still think twice about it.
Yeah, but before handing over.
Conrad don't think about it, he just jumps straight in.
No,
Oh, yeah.
of course not. Well, his name's not Conrad yet, Dan.
Oh, sorry.
He's the unnamed protagonist.
He's the Miami Vice character who wears the sweet loafers.
He's Don Johnson.
In a brown leather jacket with white t-shirt.
So, yeah, I guess I didn't put that together that you jump into a chasm to get to New Washington, and New Washington is under the jungle.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
New Washington was a really cool level.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
It really was not.
It was like this cool kind of dystopian world.
This is where I got
I
the
liked
feeling that this game took a lot of inspiration from Blade Runner.
Yeah,
I think it's
definitely.
a cross between Total Recall and Blade Runner.
Yeah, it's awesome. I didn't like having to constantly take lifts and trying to get in that taxi thing. I'd sometimes miss it.
I couldn't figure out how to get in it the first time, so it made like 4 or 5 cycles before I finally figured it out.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't figure out how to get out of it.
In New Washington, you have 4 different sections you can go to. You can go to Eurasia, is it called?
Europa.
No.
Europa, Asia, America, and what's the other one?
Africa.
Africa.
Yeah.
So why is it Europa and not Europe?
It sounds more fantastical.
It's not Americanica.
What's that, Dan? Can you repeat that?
Americanica.
Okay, you faded out there. I wasn't sure if you said American.
America.
Yeah.
I was actually quite tempted just to Photoshop that station just so it said America and send it to Eric.
Each one
Yeah,
of these
I-
looks... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you have to travel between these different stations to different sections. You have to, when you first get there, you have to find a job. You have to go and get some papers to then get a job. And then you have to do ridiculous tasks for computers.
I remember in order to get a job, you have to get a work permit. And do you guys remember getting the work permit? You had to talk to these 3 people, and they were like, "Don't talk to me, talk to him.
It's
Don't talk to him, talk to him."
You go to window A. It's like, no, got to go to window C. And the guys at window C is like, no, got to go to window B. And the guy at window B is like, all right, here you go. Like,
Yeah, and then
so
he's like,
dumb.
then the door opens to the boss, who's just sat in this tiny little cramped room on his own, and he's just called Boss.
And this place is
You have
above
to,
the
You have
bar.
to stand, rather than stand at the other side of his desk, you have to go over his desk and talk to him. Because that's the way it works.
And he's like, "Oh, there you go."
This is what made this level so unbearable, is that you had 5 missions to get through.
Yeah.
Granted, they got shorter as you went, but one of them's like pick up a VIP. You have to take him down to a lab. But along the way,
Yeah.
you have to fight these Terminators or these cops, these floating cops.
Yeah.
Another one was, oh God, what were they?
You have to like assassinate someone, a cyborg. You had to go to a bar.
Yes.
But I don't remember much of
The last
detail.
one is the most frustrating.
Is that the one we have to... there's a timer?
You have a minute and a half to get
this
through
is
this
ridiculous.
platforming section to stop a
But
bomb from going off, and you have a computer chip that you get to the bottom, you have to put it in the computer. But when you finally make it there, you have maybe 15 seconds left, depending on how crap you are at the platforming section.
I had 1 second left just for reference.
And you get to the section, and it says, oh, looks like a computer chip can go in here. So your natural inclination is to open the menu, find the computer chip, put it in. No, doesn't work that way. I died at least 20 times. And Dan told me, do not save state while you're doing this. So every time I had to do the entire fucking platform section over again.
Why not save state during it? Because you could
because I got to the end and I had literally 3 seconds left to do it.
I didn't have a timer on mine.
If you look at your menu and go to
there's a timer in your menu.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And I save stated and I pressed start when I was save state and after I'd save stated I noticed the timer said 3 seconds. I was like, oh god! So I had to just keep reloading and going back into the next screen and try in different sections with the chip. And finally got it. It's just horrible.
How did you have to do it in the end to put the key in? Like,
well, what Dan told me was exactly right. You just had to go 2 steps to the right of where that computer was. Makes no sense.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. It's a common theme for the rest of the game. Tom, just go with it.
I was so mad. I ended up walking away from the game for about an hour because I was so frustrated at this part.
Yeah, I can understand that. At this point, though, you're doing these jobs because you need to get money to buy papers to go into a thing called Death Tower.
Which is like Smash TV.
It's like the Running Man.
Yeah, the Running Man. This game is basically a merge of 80s, 90s sci-fi.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like there's no plot really. It's just we skipped over him getting his memory back before this bit.
Oh yeah, he runs into his friend named Ian, who shoots him with a laser in his forehead, and all his memories come back. He reimplants them.
What a nice guy Ian is.
So this is where I think I remember something about. So Conrad had discovered this plot, and he exported his memories and sent them to his friend Ian, correct?
Yes.
He discovered some sort of plot for this.
To this point, and then he gets captured and the enemies take away his memory.
But he had already sent a copy of his memories to his friend Ian.
Yes.
Because he discovered a plot for these aliens or these mutants to destroy the human race.
Yeah, apparently he was making his end-of-year thesis or something, and he invents some molecular glasses and puts them on and discovers that some of the human population are in fact aliens who are taking us over from within.
That's where it's directly like Blade Runner.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway, you get to this Death Tower place, which is basically the Running Man.
That's a pretty cool level. I liked how the levels got progressively shorter as you went up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they just rushed the end, really, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
But Death Tower, they introduce you have to go from floor to floor going up this tower.
They introduce a new enemy that's just a pain in the ass called the Terminator.
So it's got the Terminator as well.
Yeah, exactly. So the shooting in this game is not very fast and fluid. It's pull the gun out, and then when your gun is out, you do like this shimmy that looks like you're sliding against a wall, and you move really slow.
That's why you crouch and roll, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you get... Yeah.
Action roll.
But the Terminators, when you shoot them, they'll do this light speed run towards you and get behind you, so you have to then turn around and shoot them. And
all you do with them, Eric, is you crouch, you shoot, you wait for them to come towards you, you roll the other way, turn around, shoot them.
Yeah, but it's not... all this stuff doesn't happen quickly. Like, your character moves kind of slow.
No, he's quick if you roll.
Well, yeah, he is, but then he gets up, and then it's like, okay, now I need to face the other direction. He does this little dramatic...
If you keep your gun out, he stays crouching.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is when you roll, he's still facing the direction that you roll, but the enemy's behind you, so then you have to tap left, and he does this little, okay, I'm going to turn around.
If you roll as soon as you hit him the first time, then you're fine, because he's still doing his animation.
Yes, Daniel, I get that.
It's all timing and precision.
Okay.
Basically, you sucked it.
I was waiting for that. Yeah, I was just trying to. I was guiding you towards your insult.
Thank you. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's a delightful segue
into
the insult.
So you make it to the top of this tower, and Conrad at this point is trying to make it to Earth. And it costs like 10,000 credits. Or you can defeat the Death Tower and just get a ticket. So he beats it and just immediately gets onto a spaceship and gets launched back to Earth.
Where everybody wants to kill him.
Traitor. Kill him for treason?
When you go to Earth, you have to go to a dingy nightclub, which is apparently the base of the mutant aliens.
Oh my god, it's just... This is where things just get crazy. Like, I don't understand the story from this point forward.
What's that level called?
Earth.
Or do we not? This is called Earth.
I just have the code names.
Milord.
See, the code names were all different. I never got one that was called Milord.
Did you not?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play the Genesis version?
Yes, sir, I did.
Strange.
Weird.
Maybe you had a different ROM.
I don't know.
A different place.
See, mine came up with stuff that was really weird. Like level 1 was Pixel, and then Betsy and Pancho.
I've seen them once before. I don't think I...
Yeah.
And yeah, but after you go in this nightclub, you end up finding a teleporter, and then suddenly you're shot across time and space to this alien homeworld.
Wait, hold on. Oh, after this level back on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then you get shot across to the alien homeworld, and then the next thing you know, you're navigating through this alien homeworld, you find this guy who was plotting to destroy it, and he gives you basically a miniature nuke.
That just says danger.
Yes.
I mean, you skipped a bunch of a few levels here, but I think those just kind. Oh yeah, you skipped level 5.
What was
You
level
skipped
5?
all of level 4.
Oh, it was a dungeon, wasn't it?
Yeah, you skipped all of level 4, all of level 5, and all of level 6.
Sorry.
I vaguely remember the last level, but I can't remember those ones 5 and 6 after Earth.
They weren't...
Because they're so short, I believe.
Yeah, they were pretty short. But yeah, you find this diary of this guy. What is he, a scientist who's discovered, like, hey, this is what we're being tasked with doing. However, I've discovered that there's this central brain, but the central brain is asleep. I need to figure out how to destroy it. And then I found out there's this tertiary brain that if I shut him down, the main brain will come back online, and then I can destroy that.
Auxiliary brain, actually.
Okay.
Get it right, son.
No.
Be more accurate.
I liked that puzzle where you got the nuke because you open this door. This is it a mutant or is it no? It's a slime that just comes forward, murders the guy. You kill the slime, which, by the way, those are fucking annoying enemies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the slime.
Horribly
stuff.
annoying. You have to be crouched and rolling back and forth.
They
But you
slink
would have
along the
learned all that.
ceiling and try and drop on your head, and then try and knock you over.
But you walk up to this guy who's been killed, and he just goes, and gives you this red bomb that just says danger on it. And you're like, I don't know what this is, but thanks, pal, and just go on your merry way.
And then you have to destroy the auxiliary brain in a shootout while things try and drop on your head.
That was super frustrating. Really, really
I
frustrating.
didn't struggle with that one. The
Well-
other one, the other boss I did.
I think what was so easy or hard about that one was the slimes kept coming. Are you talking about the ones where the slimes dropped down on both sides and you had to shoot the guts hanging
No,
from
that's
the center?
the second. That's the second.
Oh, that one was super hard. The first one was
I'm on-
pretty easy.
Yeah.
But what made the second one a little easier is that each slime only took 1 bullet instead of 4.
Yeah, but you still had like no time whatsoever to climb a ledge and shoot this thing.
And you had to alternate which sides you shot it from.
Yeah, I didn't know that for quite a while.
I probably took 15 tries to beat that spot.
Yeah, it was quite difficult.
Oh, shit.
And then after that, you have to go towards this section. Then just from nowhere, Conrad just hears a voice in his head saying, "You should leave the charge here."
I was stuck on that because I never walked past that panel. Like, well, this is the brain. I need to put the bomb here, so I set the bomb down. I'm like, well, let's press this button. Nothing happened.
What I'm interested to talk about you at this point, though, Eric, when you finally did figure out where to put the bomb, did you have to run through the entire level to the end?
No, I'd left my transporter up top.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure if you would have done that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that, but I read about it and I left it there. So
There is a lot of really interesting parts where there's a really long fall or a goofy drop that you'd have to throw your teleporter down there and then teleport down the hole. I thought that was a really neat gameplay mechanic.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I like that.
Nice.
I wasn't a fan of the stupid mouse thing where it had to go back and forth.
How did that work? Because when I activated the exploding mouse, it just put a force field up in front of me.
I know there was another mouse you could get where it had to go through between two sensors to get through a door.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do. Just before the guy who hands you the charge, there was a green fire in front of a door. You had to put a mouse down between two sensors and it would move back and forth.
Nope.
Switching them
Didn't do that.
Okay.
Did you guys utilize the force field?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used it all the time. If you use it against the flying cops, it's particularly useful because you shoot them, they fly upwards, they shoot at you. You quickly press force field, and then it blocks it, and you can shoot again.
It's all about timing.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of precision involved with this game, which is why without save states it would be real ball ache.
So the ending, you blow up the brain, teleport out, and somehow you're just magically back on a spaceship, and Conrad goes on to lament, like, here's the story as far as I know, and he's drifting through space, doesn't know his current position, can't find the galaxy that he's in on any of his star charts. He's like, well, with that, I can't even begin to calculate my return, so I'm just doomed to a life of aimless drifting.
So he goes into stasis. Yeah. Basically, it's the end of Halo 3 before Halo 3 was out.
So maybe Conrad is Master Chief.
Yeah.
Shit, son.
Funnily enough, as I discovered earlier today, there is a sequel to Flashback called Fade to Black.
Yeah.
Where he wakes up 50 years later.
It is absolute garbage.
That was
I wish it wasn't.
PS1?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this game.
I remember buying it for 20 quid.
I've never played it.
All my pocket money. It took 10 weeks to save up for it, and it was... I think it's like... I can barely remember, to be honest, but I think it was kind of isometric-y in terms of camera, but then when you wanted to shoot, it went into first person.
God, just looking at the graphics, it looks like poop sandwich.
It's
and he's
so
still
old.
got his same jacket and loafers on.
Looks like he's got some wingtips. Interesting.
I would be keen to play it again because nostalgia would just smack me right in the face because I've not even touched it.
It looks very similar to how terrible Mega Man Legends was. Have you played the 3D Mega Man RPG?
No, I didn't know that.
Mother of God, it is terrible. It's only like $1.99 on PSN right now.
They've got the Mega Man Legacy Collection for about £9 or something on PSN.
That's a fantastic deal.
Yeah, might have to.
You know what? We haven't talked about. They actually remade Flashback.
Wait, what?
What, this one, the one we all played?
Yeah, recently there was a remake came out.
What?
On Steam.
No way.
It got
completely forgot about this until
5.8 out of 10.
Huh.
It's only PC, right?
Xbox 360, Microsoft Windows, and PS3.
Well,
Wow.
That went under the radar.
That actually looks really good.
It looks like it is a legit remake of it, though. Like, with the 2D and stuff.
It's kind of like what they did with Oddworld.
I'm interested to play that.
Let's see if it's in
Oh,
good old GOG. It's on Steam for $5.
Why the hell not?
That actually
I do
looks
remember this.
super good.
Shit.
Is it on GOG?
No, it's not.
Oh.
Ugh. Interesting.
Return of Conrad. He lives on. Who was it made by? Ubisoft.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Interesting.
Well,
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun game.
it's one of my favorite Mega Drive games, I think.
I'd be curious to know the differences between the Mega Drive and Super Nintendo versions.
Oh, you think it might be an Aladdin type?
I don't know if it'd be
I think
that
they're pretty
drastic.
identical, to be honest.
Ah.
One of the rare cases on the older games where they are similar.
The version that I played back in the day was on the Amiga, and the music was better. And
I think the
but there
Sega
was some
CD
reason-
version is superior as well.
yeah. And weirdly, some of the characters, some of the enemies were just wearing different color clothes. Like, I have no idea why, but that's just one of those differences.
Yeah, I don't see any discernible differences. Apparently it was on 3DO as well. Holy shit.
In North America, the Genesis, SNES, and Sega CD versions feature a Marvel Comics comic book within the manual to explain the initial story.
Oh, nice.
The PAL releases didn't have the comic and instead featured a textual prologue.
Apparently EGM was praising the Super Nintendo version over the Genesis version for having improved graphics.
The Super NES port featured some minor censorship due to Nintendo's content guidelines. Changes included New Washington's Bar becoming a cafe and Death Tower being renamed Cyber Tower. While the enemy
Yeah.
mutants who had natural skin colours in other versions were recolored green.
Yeah,
Good old
Nintendo were
Nintendo.
always funny about their content in their games back in the day, weren't they?
Well, didn't they tone down the Mortal Kombat games too?
Yeah, that was the one they're most famous for.
Yeah.
You.
Good
All those
suggestion,
kids.
Dan. I'm
That
pleasantly.
may be my first good suggestion.
It was a great suggestion.
Yeah, I really
I missed
enjoyed it.
that. Really good.
Good. Thank you.
We don't know what's on the docket for next week because Jess thought that we could fit the entirety of Wind Waker into a week. I mean, it took
Yeah,
us like 6 weeks to get through Ocarina of Time, and Wind Waker's twice as big.
Sorry, Jess. As much as I'd love to.
We are going to veto that. So I think between the three of us, we should come up with something else. So while I pull up the emails, let's think about what we might want to play for next week. If you want to send us an email, factorysealed@manatank.com or podcast@factory-sealed.com. We only have one email June 30. Let me check the dates. Hold on. Oh, we got two.
Oh, we got two.
First email comes from our friend Scale Enley. Says,
Hi,
greetings, Factory Sealed crew. Loved the Landstalker episode. Another terrible game I have dodged because of the excellent reviewing this podcast provides. Just so you know, I've still got those boxes of beer ready for when you want a good game to play. Cough, Terranigma. No pressure, just saying. Also, I was wondering if you guys ever got into games from the Commodore 64 era. I dug up my old SX64 and I'm tossing up between keeping it or selling it. Apparently they go for $500 to $700 on eBay. Anywho, keep up the good work. Sincerely, Scale. And he
I've
says,
not played many Commodore 64 games. I don't think I ever have, actually.
I don't think
No.
I have either. My cousin
But,
volunteers at a thrift shop in our hometown that's run by our church. And she sent me a text saying, hey, would you be interested in buying an Atari fully in-box with all the manuals and a bunch of games in-box? I'm like, yeah, absolutely I would. And she goes, oh, I also have an Odyssey 2 in-box. Like, set them aside, I want them both. She's just testing them out to make sure they actually work, but I think I'll probably
Yeah.
pick all those up for about $100.
Nice. Is that a 2600?
I'm going to pull it up here really quick. She said it is an Atari 7800.
Ooh, because I had an Atari ST. If you Google that, it won't look how you expect it to look.
An Atari ST.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is.
Apparently, there's a game for the Commodore 64 called Sex Games.
Ugh,
Oh,
Tom,
there
that
was all
thing's
sorts of-
hideous.
Yeah, there were all sorts of weird games for these computers because round about the time of NES, Mega Drive, and Super Nintendo, computers were really big in Europe, like the Amiga, the Amstrad, the Atari ST, and the Commodore. Like we had an Amiga and an Amstrad growing up, and of course the Spectrum is famously a British computer. So like you had all these weird tapes because the games came on cassettes, and they were made by just like random people in their bedrooms and stuff. And you'd have games that weren't licensed properly, so they had really crude materials, and nothing was ever like certified or quality controlled. It was kind of a contributor to the crash of the market, certainly in the mid-80s.
Check that image I've just sent you.
Oh my goodness.
And here's a worse one. Enjoy.
Yeah. Like, that's...
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, computers were great.
Way to go, Landy Soft. Whew. Did you guys ever play an old game on the...
There's a game called Stroker for Commodore 64.
Oh my god.
Check this out.
Oh my god. Look at the texture on that hair. You know what my favorite part about this is? His hand is
penis?
black, but his dick isn't. So whose is he stroking?
Oh my god. What an image.
I wonder what you have to do to get to rotten levels.
Peter meter. So
I think you're going to have to explain what this image is, Dan.
God, Tom.
what game is this?
The caption is
called Stroker.
Jack in it.
Apparently there's a rating system using the Peter meter with great, good, fair, so-so, bad, or rotten. And there's a guy at the top who looks like he's encouraging you, going, not too bad, but can you do it again? Like, no, I need at least 4 or 5 hours to recoup.
If I had a
Man,
game...
there's some gems on the Commodore 64. Who could forget sex vixens from space?
Let me take it a little less sexual. Did you guys ever play a game called Armor Alley?
No.
No.
You were this helicopter, and you'd have to fly out, pick up little green army men, flying back to the base, all while avoiding ground fire and tanks. And it was actually a pretty fun little game.
Huh.
One of my...
It's pretty fun.
Okay. American near. We have another email
We do.
from our friend Sam Chun. Hey, Factory Sealed crew, I love you, Dan. In all seriousness, I'm really glad you guys played Flashback Quest for Identity this week. This is one of the games I'd mentioned in my list that should not be missed on the Genesis Mega Drive a few weeks back. I actually have this game.
Wait, was he saying he loved me, or were you saying it?
Clearly, he was saying it.
All right,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, Sam. I love you too.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
I have this game on cartridge, but learning from the fiasco that was the later parts of Landstalker on cartridge and its ridiculous difficulty, I decided on the smarter move of playing this on emulator. Got as far as the random jobs for credits and actually did gain entry to the tower level, just did not get through it. Liked how the game looked, just remembered levels were a bit more varied than your standard platformer, even though there were tougher moments. Never really felt it was frustratingly difficult, but enjoyed the challenge. He goes on to talk about the sequel called Fade to Black. Have not played it, though. Maybe I'll check it out at some point. And I think based on Tom's recommendation, you probably shouldn't. This leads to the question. After doing a bit of research, this game is considered a cinematic platformer, a rarely used subset of the platforming genre. What made the game feel different from a basic platformer? Is this subset of platforming difficulty included worth it to explore more commonly?
What?
Would you like me to read the question again?
I didn't. Was there a question?
There were two questions because they're sentences that end with question marks, therefore they are questions.
Okay, I really didn't get that.
Okay.
Sorry.
After doing a bit of research, this game is considered a cinematic platformer, a rarely used subset of the platforming genre. Here's
Right.
question 1, Dan. What made, see the word what indicates that this will be a question,
What?
made the game feel different from a basic platformer? There's a question mark here, indicating that he followed
it too
through
quickly.
on his promise of a question by starting the sentence with the word what.
Oh, shut up, you arse.
The next question, is this subset of platforming, difficulty included, worth it to explore more commonly?
For me, it's the intricacies of how Conrad moves and the different mechanics that make this platforming more cinematic than just your standard platformer. And it's kind of slightly mature in its theme as well. Like, it just kind of feels like it's somewhere between platforming and immersive cinematic experience. Kind of.
I mean,
I
based
used
on
that
when
really
it came out,
loosely.
too, the Sega really
Yeah.
wasn't that powerful of a system.
No.
So for
It's
them,
quite good what they did with this game, to be honest, on that system. It is.
his
It's quite
movements
impressive.
are so fluid.
Yeah, like if you fall forward, and then he kind of like reaches down as if his arms are like down near his feet. His like jacket goes up, and you can like see the bottom of his t-shirt. It's just like the clothes, the material moves with his body as
Or
well.
when you're running and you stop, he won't just stop. He'll do like the stutter step and wave his arms a
Yeah.
little bit, and then he'll get to
Yeah.
the edge of a ledge and like teeter over the edge of it. The most,
Yeah.
I guess, a common parallel would be look at how Nathan Drake interacts with his world. This
Mm-hmm.
is the Genesis Super Nintendo era
Uncharted.
equivalent of animation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that, yeah.
I think I agree with you, Tom. That's what made it different for me. I don't know if it would be a good genre to continue exploring, because I think these niche genres can very easily get overexploited.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. I don't know how you'd even translate it nowadays.
Because everything nowadays is cinematic in quality.
Yeah. But we're
I
either
mean,
one or the other
all
now.
the stuff like Prince of Persia and stuff had that kind of cinematic quality to it as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He goes on, P.S. There are a couple games that are considered platformers that also distinguish themselves from common aspects of this genre and are worth checking out. Blackthorn.
Oh, Eric, before you get into that, sorry, I was just going to say as well, Heart of Darkness is a cinematic platformer.
Yes, it is. And we did
Yeah.
recently play that.
We did.
His
Sorry,
first game,
continue.
Blackthorn, NES game that is very similar to Flashback in that it is a cinematic platform with gunfights intermixed with platforming elements. I think it's cool about this game is that you can evade shots during gunfights by leaning against the wall, much like ducking and rolling mechanic in Flashback. I always remember
sounds good.
as a
Let's play
kid,
that.
we'd go stay in a hotel and they would have, they'd have games like this controller built into the TV that you could rent games, and Blackthorn was always one of them, and I never actually played it.
Looks like a
great idea.
decent game.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original NES version of the game, is different from the arcade style of the rest of the series. It's definitely more action and platforming-esque, but it's really difficult to make some players cringe. Also, Donatello is the best turtle in the game, and Scroll is the best extra weapon. I can actually get past the reputed very difficult water bomb level, which is the second level in the game. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
He always sends good emails. I like that.
Good
That's
lad.
it for emails. Did we discover what game we want to play?
No.
No, we didn't. Well, shit.
You should play Cool Spot. Cool Spot for the Mega Drive.
Oh, man, isn't that the
Oh,
little
yeah.
7-Up dot?
Yeah.
Can we play the sequel where it's isometric?
No.
Cool Spot goes to Hollywood.
No. Can we not play a terrible game?
It's good.
I think we've done 2 weeks of Genesis games in a row.
What would you like to play instead, Eric?
I don't know. It's not my week.
There's
Well,
none of
Jess
our
isn't
weeks.
here, so pretend to be her and pick a game.
Hello.
Hi, Jess. What would we like to play this week?
Pokemon Snap. Why not?
Guys, I love it. They're so cute.
It's hilarious.
Let's play Nintendogs. We will give Jess until the end of the day to respond with a suggestion. Otherwise, we will come up with one. How's that sound? So in the coming weeks, not next week, but the week after, we have Mist.
Ooh.
Followed by Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
With listener Jack Grant. And then after that, we're going to delve into the world of Game Boy with Kirby's Dream Land.
Yes.
We need to do some more handheld stuff.
Yeah, I'm up for it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yep.
Thomas.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Good.
Hungry, actually.
Where can we find
not
you?
Not this shit again.
Where can... It works both ways. It's great. Where can we find you on Twitter?
You can find me at Hyperjelly on the Twitter.
Daniel.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Where can we find you?
Stop that.
Where can we find you on the Twitter?
You can find me on the Twitter at Frosted Sauce.
You can find me at Honest Pizza or the show at Factory_Sealed. Or you can check us out, Facebook.com/FactorySealed or Factory-Sealed.com. And our YouTube, once we get an actual URL.
Mm-hmm. And Patreon, of course.
Oh, yeah, our Patreon supporters. So we're going to be adding something new for our Patreon supporters. These videos that we record each week of us playing, Tom splices them together, but there is a full half-hour video per person that we are going to start uploading just to our Patreon page for our Patreon supporters. And that's just for anybody who donates any amount. You'll get the full video of each of us and all of our stupidity and terribleness. So you can truly enjoy Jess's terrible gameplay.
2 extra hours of content, people, for $1. Do it.
$1.
Woohoo.
At the most.
Sounds great.
Guys, that's going to do it for this week.
Oh, yeah. I also want to say, just if you are listening to the show and you enjoy it, go on iTunes, leave us a review, please. We like them.
We do.
Yeah.
You know, guys, I was thinking of something, and tell me what you think of this.
Don't like it.
Okay, you should wait till you hear what I have to say.
He's preempting it.
Okay. I was thinking about our next big giveaway. We should do something, but in order for them to enter, I would like it if they would send us their best straddling picture. Find an animal somewhere, preferably not alive.
This could go very wrong.
It'd be hilarious. So our next
also
physical...
go very wrong.
Yeah. Clothes on, obviously. I mean, I think that'd be a great contest. I kind of wish we would have done that for the Jeeves box.
Oh, yeah. We can
Then
do it
would have
again.
got our sweet memories.
Yeah. We do have to start doing it. We still have 2 copies of Landstalker to give away.
Oh.
Maybe we'll just randomly post those codes this week.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
On the Facebook page.
Yeah. Not Twitter.
Yeah, no. We'll do it on Facebook. Sounds good.
Keep an eye on the face box. We got 2 copies to give away. We got to come up with another physical game giveaway pretty soon, so maybe I'll head to the game store today and see what I can come up with. There was a copy of Flashback there on the Super Nintendo for like $6. I may pick that up if it's still there.
Cool.
Awesome.
Super duper. All right, folks, that's it.
Taffy bye.
Hold on.
Hey, that's my phrase, you slick.
I will be having a second child this week, so I'm still planning on doing the show next week, provided I have time to play a game.
Which you probably won't.
Such dedication. Such dedication from this man.
If anything, it'd be the week after that I have to skip.
They must have the most understanding wife.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Very true.
understandable. Yeah. I'll keep you in the loop. Guys, that's it. We will see you all next week.
Bye.
Tatty bye.
Titty
Bugger
bye?
off, Tom.
Titty bye.
Tatty bye.
Toodle pippies? Pippy toodles?
All right, you slags, bugger off.